Hello again, I am Blunty. This is the WD My Passport wireless hard drive thingamabob, which almost exactly a year ago I got and I have been using it ever since. This, however, is the WD My Passport Wireless Pro, which, as the name might suggest, is the new, shinier, better, beefier, stronger version. Now, what these are is basically it's a hard drive in a little case with a battery to run the hard drive, some Wi-Fi technology in there so you can connect to it over Wi-Fi. Also, it has a little SD card reader right in the side there, so you can pop an SD card in there, and when you do that, you can set this thing up to automatically copy the contents of that SD card across to the hard drive and back up your camera memory cards as you go, which is what I use it for. They do other things. You can fill these with media, for example, and connect up to, I think, 6 different wireless devices, so your iPhone, your Android connection, and your tablets and your iPads and all that sort of stuff, and you can all, the whole family can stream TV and movies and media and stuff to and from it and photos and all that kind of stuff. But I use it on the road as a production tool, basically. It means I can easily, simply, immediately, quickly back up my camera SD cards for when I'm shooting in the field or at the end of the day in the hotel room if I'm traveling and all that sort of stuff. And I don't need a computer at all. I can just pop the card into the device like that, and it will, when it's turned on, it will automatically back up that card to the internal hard drive. I can then connect the hard drive to the computer when I'm ready to edit and use it as a regular media drive. And it is that functionality which makes it useful to me, and is that functionality why I'm recommending it to everybody out there who ever shoots with a camera, because it is just the best hard drive for, traveling photographers and videographers out there. Let me break down for you exactly why. The main differences between the My Passport Wireless and the new My Passport Wireless Pro version, at least the differences that make a real difference in the real world, are fourfold. Firstly, it's a bit larger physically, which I'm not a huge fan of, but it's still easily small enough to slide into the same little pockets in my gear bag that I did use for the original version, so who really cares? Rather more importantly, the most basic usability has been markedly improved by the addition of 4 LEDs, which, as you may guess, display battery status while using it, and indeed charging it. But more importantly, they're used as a progress bar indicator when importing directly from an SD card. Now, on the first model, there was no way to know how much of the SD card data had been copied over to the internal disk. You just had to blindly wait until the lights stopped blinking. But now, on the Pro version, you can watch it go into a very basic 4-chunk progress bar: 25, 50, 75, and 100%. Not super fine-grained, but certainly enough to give you an idea about the progress and how long it'll take to finish. Which brings me to another game-changing difference. The SD card reader is much faster. On the old version, it was basically an internal USB 2.0 connection and a comparatively slow reader. A slightly frustrating arrangement which made importing SD cards much slower than I would have liked, but hardly a deal-breaker. On the Pro version, however, the internal connection is USB 3 and the card reader is vastly quicker. To give you a real-world example, which of course are the only examples that really count, I imported a completely filled 128GB SD card filled to the brim with 4K video files in just over 30 minutes. But of course, more commonly, people use 32 or 64GB cards in the cameras, which work out to about 8 and 15 minutes apiece for a completely full card. And the drive is smart enough to only copy files it doesn't have already, so you can do quick little incremental backups throughout the day as you travel from location to location without wasting time, space, or battery power. It is still not the fastest SD card reader around, and I'm always going to want faster and faster and faster import speeds, because why wouldn't you? But these speeds are pretty practical out in the field, or indeed in the hotel room after a day's shooting. And lastly, the disk sizes have taken a jump too. The Pro version comes in 2 and 3TB flavors. I have been using the 3TB one, which when you're shooting 4K on multi-day trips should very easily accommodate even the most prolific shooters out there. And while both the Pro and the original are USB 3.0 connected to your computer, in use as a media drive in the editing process, which for me takes place in Final Cut Pro X, the Pro version actually outperformed noticeably, delivering a much smoother and more pleasant 4K editing timeline experience. If you use the 2.4 amp charger that comes with it, you'll get a dead to full charge of its internal battery in about 3.5 hours or so, and when using it wirelessly, doing things like streaming video from it to your phone over Wi-Fi and such, it'll give you about 6 hours of use. And as an interesting bonus, see that USB 2.0 port right there? You can attach USB drives, or indeed your phone, right there to import from those devices too. And you can also pull power from the drive's own internal battery to give your phone a charge while you're at it. It's not going to stop me carrying my backup battery pack thingy, but it's nice to know that's there just in case. The long and the short of all this is simple. This is the perfect travel companion to any video shooter or photographer. It means you can immediately and easily back up your SD cards as you go without ever needing a laptop at all. In fact, unless I need to actually edit video while I travel, I can leave the laptop at home completely. And if you are using a camera that shoots compatible video formats, you can in fact pull the imported video back from the drive onto your phone or tablet and edit directly from there, as again I have done with my iPhone. Now, I don't tend to use the wireless media server functionality much myself with these portable drives, but it can and will do full duty as a self-contained Plex server, for instance, or a number of other media sharing options, in fact. So like I said in the intro, the WD My Passport Wireless Pro is the best, the most thought out WD product I've ever used. Everything that I loved about this, which has kept this in my gear bag for a year straight, which has had this traveling everywhere I've gone in the world over the last year since I got it. I simply wouldn't want to travel without. Well, now I do want to travel without it because this is better in every single way. You need a portable hard drive when you travel anyway, don't you? You just need one because the ones built into your laptop or whatnot probably isn't big enough for a whole bunch of footage all day long. So you are traveling with a portable hard drive anyway. So why not get one that has a wireless connection to it? Why not get one that has a built-in SD card reader that can automatically back up your day's shooting, or like I said, incremental as you go throughout the day, because you can carry this with you because it, weighs, little more than a regular portable hard drive does. And, it even has a battery backup thing so you can charge your iPhone a bit from its own internal battery, which is nice. For the little bit more you spend on this, as opposed to a regular dumb hard drive, there's just no excuse. There's no excuse not to spend that extra money, because this will make your life better when you're out in the field shooting. Certainly has mine. Anyway, thank you for watching. I am Blunty, and I will catch you next time.